in this video I'll show you how to crochet this adorable bunny head for your cat. This tutorial is perfect for beginners and I'll help you with the measurements so you can make a cute new accessory for your cat. For this crochet I'm using Himalaya Dolphin baby yarn with a hook number 6. For this inner part of the ears and the contrasting edging, I'll be using this yarn with the hook number 4. If I had the same Dolphin baby yarn in pink, I would use it, but not this time. We also need scissors, a stitch marker and a needle. So let's begin. The first thing you need to do is a magic ring. But here's the catch. My yarn doesn't work well with the magic ring. This yarn is very delicate and when you tighten it, it might easily tear. So instead of a magic ring, I'll show you another way. You can start with the magic ring or do it like this. Take the short end of the yarn and make a slip knot. Wrap the yarn around your finger like this and hold it with your other finger. Insert the hook under the first loop and grab the second one. Pull the loop of your finger and tighten it, but not too tightly. Then make 2 chain stitches. Now in this first chain stitch, we'll make 8 single crochets. Insert the hook into the first chain stitch, pull up the yarn and work 2 loops on the hook. This is your first single crochet. Place a marker on it to mark the beginning of your row. We'll do this at the start of each row. In total, you should have 8 single crochets. Insert the hook in the same chain stitch, pull up the yarn and work 2 loops on the hook. Continue crocheting. After that, tighten the short end of the yarn and insert the hook into your first stitch, the beginning of the row. Pull up the yarn and work 1 slip stitch. This slip stitch will be used at the end of each row to join the beginning at the end of the row. We make 1 chain stitch and in this row we will make an increase in each stitch. Following the pattern, we will crochet half double crochets into each stitch. Let me show you how to make them. Yarn over, insert the hook into the stitch and pull up the yarn. And pull it through all 3 loops on the hook. This is our first half double crochet. Place a marker on it to mark the beginning of the row. Yarn over again and insert the hook into the same stitch, pull up the yarn and work 3 loops on the hook. This is our second half double crochet. Continue in this way, and since we made 8 stitches in the first row, at the end of the second row we should have 16 half double crochet in total. Make an increase in the last stitch and as you can see we reached the very first stitch, the start of the row. This little stitch between the start and the end of the row is the slip stitch from the previous row and we ignore it. Insert the hook into the first stitch, pull up the yarn and work 1 slip stitch. We've already crocheted the top of the head, the area between the ears. For me, this is 5 centimeters. After this row, we'll make the holes for the cat's ears. If your cat has a bigger distance between the ears, or if you're using thinner yarn and this part turned out too small, you can add an extra row, like crocheting 1 stitch plus an increase across the entire row. Then you can divide the stitches for the ears, forehead and back of the head. Let me show you how. And here is our circle made of 16 half double crochets. This part is for the ears, this part is for the forehead, and this is for the back of the head. Here is the marker. As you can see, I've divided the 16 stitches into 4 equal parts, but if you have a number that cannot be eventually divided by 4, take the smaller number. For example, if you added an extra row and ended up with 29 half double crochets, you can take 28 and divide it by 4, which gives you 7. We'll allocate 7 stitches for each ear and 7 stitches for the forehead. This leaves us with 7 stitches plus 1 stitch from the beginning. Add 8 stitches for the back of the head. We add more stitches to the back because that part of the cat's head is usually bigger than the front part between the ears. So we have 8 stitches for the back. Also remember that every cat is unique, so try it on as you go and be careful with your hands. In this row, we'll make small holes for your cat's ears. Make 1 chain stitch. Now, according to the pattern, we need to make 3 half double crochets. Yarn over, insert the hook into the stitch and pull up the yarn. And pull it through all 3 loops on the hook. Place a marker on it to mark the beginning of the row. Make the second and the third half double crochet in the same way. Now we need to make 10 chain stitches for the ear. If your cat is bigger or has fluffier ears, you may want to increase the number of chain stitches. But before making adjustments, watch this row and the next row. Skip 4 stitches and in the 5th stitch, make a half double crochet. Then make 3 more half double crochet for a total of 4. Now let's make 10 chain stitches. Skip 4 stitches and in the 5th stitch, make a half double crochet. Finally, join the beginning and end of the row. I remind you again, so you don't get confused, that small stitch here is the slip stitch from the previous row, which we don't touch. We insert the hook into your first stitch and make a slip stitch. We make 1 chain stitch, then yarn over and make 3 half double crochets. Remember to place a marker on the first stitch. Now we reach the chain stitches, which we will crochet around with half double crochets. Yarn over, insert your hook directly into the hole around the chain and work 3 loops on the hook. This the first half double crochet. In total, you need to make 12 half double crochets around the chain. Continue in this way. If you're using a different number of chain stitches, add 2 extra stitches to your total of this row. For example, if you have 15 chain stitches, add 2 more and work 17 half double crochets around the chain. After that, make 4 more half double crochets. Next, crochet around the second chain in the same way. You should have a total of 12 half double crochets. Finally, make 1 half double crochet and make a slip stitch. Make 1 chain stitch and in this row, we'll make 3 half double crochet and make 1 increase. Yarn over, insert the hook into the stitch and pull up the yarn. Work 3 loops on the hook and place a marker. Then work the second and third stitches. Now make an increase
by crocheting 2 half double crochets into one stitch. Continue crocheting until you reach the end of the row. If you follow me, the last stitch will be increased. Make the first and the second half double crochet into the same stitch and make a slip stitch. At this point, you can add extra height to your head if you want to. Simply repeat this row once more or make 4 half double crochet plus 1 increase. In this row, we'll make brim with ruffles. Make 1 chain stitch and now we'll make 3 regular double crochets into each stitch. Yarn over, insert the hook into the stitch, pull up the yarn and work 2 loops on the hook. Then yarn over and work the remaining 2 loops on the hook. Place a marker on the first stitch, yarn over again, insert the hook into the same stitch, pull up the yarn, work 2 loops and then work the remaining 2 loops. Yarn over once more and make the third double crochet into the same stitch. Continue crocheting 3 double crochets into each stitch until you reach the end of the row. And be careful not to lose any stitches. While I am crocheting, I want to tell you about my cat Sam. He turns 3 years old this summer. He's very hyperactive, like most orange cats, and very confident. He can be grumpy sometimes, but he's also very sweet and kind. And I would love to hear about your cats. Feel free to share something about them in the comments. You can also send photos of your cat wearing the bunny hat on Ribbler. This crochet pattern for the bunny hat and the home slippers is already available there. I would be so happy if you left review and shared some pictures with me. When you reach the last stitch, make 3 double crochet and then make a slip stitch. You can hide the yarn in other stitches like this, or use a needle and hide it into the rows. Take the pink yarn and make a slip knot. Wrap the short end around your finger like this, insert the hook under the first loop and grab the second one. Now insert the hook into any stitch, pull up the pink slip knot and make 1 chain stitch and start making single crochets in each stitch around. At the end, make a slip stitch, chain 1, cut the yarn and hide the short end in other stitches. Now let's make the ears. Take the main white yarn, make a slip knot and make 6 chain stitches. We'll crochet 5 single crochet stitches, insert the hook into the second chain from the hook, pull up the yarn and work 2 loops on the hook. Repeat this for a total of 5 stitches. Chain 1. Turn your work and make 4 single crochet, starting from the second chain from the hook. And now, in the 5th stitch, make an increase 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Next, we continue crocheting around the other side in the same direction. Now, this is our 6th stitch, and here we also make an increase 1 single crochet, then another single crochet in the same stitch. Finally, make 4 more single crochets. Chain 1. Turn your work. Now, following our pattern, make 5 single crochets
starting from the second stitch from the hook. In the 6th and 7th stitches, make an increases. Then continue with 5 more single crochets. Pull the yarn through and leave a long tail for sewing. And make the second ear like this. For the inner part, we need to make only 2 rows and skip the 3rd row. I follow the exact same steps as for the main white piece. Make a slip knot, make 6 chain stitches and crochet just as before, except we stop after row 2. Now leave a long tail for sewing. Next, make a second identical inner piece. Thread the yarn into a needle. Here you can see the second row of the ear. Here we will attach the inner part to the outer part stitch by stitch. Insert the needle through a stitch on the other white piece, then through a stitch on the pink inner part and continue sewing like this. And make sure that the pink yarn is not visible on the outside. After sewing, hide the short ends inside the ear. Now take the long white yarn tail, thread it into a needle, fold the ear like this, and stitch it together stitch by stitch. Next, decide where you want to place the ears. I'll sew mine in the middle right between these stitches. Insert the needle through a stitch on the head and attach the ear. Then bring the needle through an ear again and into the next stitch on the head. Continue sewing like this until the ear is fully attached. Once done, bring the yarn inside, make a knot and hide the yarn in the stitches. Repeat the same process for the second ear. First, make a slip knot. Fold the head like this to find the center. Here is our middle point right between the rows. Insert your hook into this stitch, pull up a slip knot and make 35 chain stitches. Pull the yarn through it, cut and hide the short end inside the chain. You can also add a small knot at the end like this. Now go back to the beginning of the tie and hide the short end in the stitches. Repeat the same process for the second tie on the other side of the head. I hope you enjoyed crocheting with me. That's all for now. See you again in my new videos. Bye bye!